Good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100 for Thursday, June 1st, 2023. And amazing that 6 months have gone by, that we've been stuck in a range here in our markets for most of that period, if not since October of 2022. We have been involved in tracing out a primary B wave. And we are hopefully and quickly finally building into the apex, which should complete this move. I'm going to now pull it all the way back down, because that's let's say a 4-hour picture or a daily picture. And I now got to pull it back down to an hourly and then maybe even smaller, because we have to go intraday to see how this is all working out and what is left to do. So I'm going to start here on the 4-hour chart, just showing this large of a picture. So basically we have since October. We're looking at the entire move. We are in an intermediate C wave to complete that primary B. And within the intermediate wave C, we'll have 5 waves of minor degree. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4 labeled. We're in the fifth. The fifth is turning into a diagonal triangle. Bizarre, strange, but finally beginning to make itself known and kind of following through. So the 4-hour chart shows that within this minor fifth wave, it's a diagonal triangle. We're getting the diagonal. We see what wave 1 did, ugly, nasty, long. Wave 2, wave 3, still likely in process. So let's go back down to the hourly chart and take a look. We're going to open this up a little bit, because now what our concern is here, right? We've got wave 1, 2. Where is 3? Is it still in progress? And how I'm showing that is I've got the 3 and the 4 in parentheses, because it's like, okay, still unknown. We still have 2 scenarios that this market could be following, and that would carry us through tomorrow. And let me just go through those. So minor degree, because we're in a diagonal, all 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 will all be 3-wave structures. Within them will be some 5 waves, but they will be 3-wave structures in total in terms of the whole move. So here we have 1. Again, let me just pull this open. There's 4. So here we have 1. Yeah, crazy, but true. And then we have wave 2, 3. And then we have wave 3, which could be to here, or 3 is yet to be finished, and it's going to finish over here. And that would then put in, so we're dealing with all of the minute in between, or the A, B, C of this minute wave 3. Get that again, right? A, B, C for the 3. So we have A, B, C 2. We have A, B, C 3, 1. So 1, 2, and then, so is it done? We could do it here, A, B, C. That works. Or it's A, B, C. So each one of the components within it broaden, covers some territory, but stays within parameters. So, and it fits. So I'm allowing for, first of all, this particular wave that's now in progress. So the 4 basically would not even be here. So, because we'd be looking for an A, B, excuse me. If this is the 4 and we're in the final 5th wave, then the 3 would stay here, and we would have 3, 3, and then this 5th wave also has to be 3, which fits, actually. That's what I was trying to get out before. We get the A, the B, and the C, and then it just plows up here and gets itself done. Now, under that scenario, instead of, again, A, B, C, we're going to move the 3. It really puts the same patterns together. A 3, and then a 3. to put this 3 up here. So ABC to complete 3. Sorry, that's where I was beginning. And then if we're looking for that, we need to go inside all of this to try to get an idea. Oh, well, where can this one go? And part of that is going to come in from within it. So we go outside for just a moment so we can start putting the fibs together and to where this 3 can go. So first of all, I'm going to start looking to see where, if we're using the fib, where minor wave 5, right? If we're in the last final stages of minor 5, where can that go? So let's fill in that blank. We're going to go here, here, to over here. Right there. Come on. Let me just make sure. I got to take it down because these things get crazy and they don't come in perfectly. This one did not. So that low was, it makes a difference. That low was 40.6225. We come over here, we edit 42.62, 40.62.25. And say, okay, perfect. So now for this minor wave 5, 618, we've already gone through now again, many times. In fact, as you can see, the market really held and rallied. Well, that one went through, came back, stuck around, went down, came back, plowed through it. And when it does it very quickly and convincingly. So that's the 618 of minor 5. What we have next up for that minor 5th wave would be 100%, which is at 42.96. That's equality where minor wave 5, right? So indeed, if this is 1, 2, 3, and this is the 4, and we're in the 5th, it has the ability to come up to here. But here's what else comes up. We have relationships even within here. And I'm going to do one more inside because we've got to set where all of this can go. Now, this would just be looking for this C wave. And port 618 is 42.54. We've seen this 42.54, 42.55 consistently at all different levels, connecting different points. So here it is again. And the 618 position, here it is again at 42.54. And that's where this small internal ABC for wave 3 would complete. And that would continue here. And then we'd still get another drop down in this 4 and an additional rally. Again, going back to this, possibly back up here to 42.96. So let's go over that again because it's combining these two scenarios and we have to play it against what we're going to see tomorrow. If we get a little bit of a pop overnight and then it starts to come down, we can put the 3 and we're into the 4. With still an additional, and we can time out the 4 as it happens, but it may take all day. It may take a day or two. We may get part of it tomorrow and then into Monday. It just depends on the market. There were some mean turns today in both directions. So I would suspect tomorrow we might see much of the same. But again, we're looking for the 2. I got to get a completion point because this, again, would come in as a failure. Here, look where it stopped. 42.39 is where it stops. Actually, the high is 42.35 at this point. 42.39. So basically 42.40. And it needed to get above this high at 42.43. I was like, oh my God. You get so close. And it was, but there were so many orders stacked above it that they just kind of went bing, 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 bing when it didn't make it. Somebody started and the avalanche started and the sellers hit and the S&P dropped, I don't know, 15 points in about 20, 30 minutes and then raced all the way back. 62% of the drop or more. Yeah, it was a wild close. Again, I suspect that tomorrow may contain the same thing because it's a Friday, it's an expiration. We've got all the underlying expiring plus the indexes, so all of the components, We have a lot of movement going on in a lot of these stocks that carry a weighting here in the S&P. So one more time, if we're in wave 3 and it's complete, and this is a 4, and look for this thing to catch fire. Again, our first stop would be 42.54, and that could complete the whole thing. And again, it would put wave C above wave A in terms of the intermediate degree. And we got that going on too, right? So we're looking for all of this completion point. Put it all together, complete, complete, complete. Does that mean we're ready? Does that mean we'll get our turn? Does that mean that the primary B may be over? We have to wait and see, because again, confirmation comes from the market. But if 42.54 is exceeded strongly, and again, I'm putting a little bit more weight at that level because it keeps showing up in a 0.618. 0.618 of this, 0.618 of that shows up, and it's like, okay, maybe it's together. So I'm going to say it's got a stronger validity. But outside of that, if we're looking at that fifth, again, if this is going to turn into that fifth wave, then again, it also will be threes. So we could rally very quickly and very strongly up to 42.54. If that breaks, our next would be for the minor fifth, coming in at 42.96, because these, we'd have to go to the 100% to be honest with you, right? So again, against this move, if 42.54 breaks, the next move, Fibonacci-wise, would be 100%. And that's at 43.04. And boy, you know, I don't put anything past the market anymore. So could it go up 70, 80 points? Yeah, it truly can. It truly can. Just depends on what's going on and how it's all going to be treated, you know, and what's getting moved around. So in any case, these numbers are valid. Technically, this is what it looks like. Now, one more time, if the 3 is not complete and it gets complete tomorrow, up in here, even up to here, we can put the 3 there. We turn, we come down in a 4. Again, it's going to be an ABC. And then we go up in a 5th, and again, it's going to be an ABC. So we got a lot more. We have potentially a lot more to do before we eventually get up to these levels and call it a day. Okay? That's the S&P. It is more confusing, but to be honest with you, the S&P has been the more difficult market to tag in terms of why isn't it breaking out? Why is it still just getting hung up right in here and not breaking out of all of this congestion? Well, now it may tell us, and that it's good and true. I would suspect that we start to build to get there, and it forces even more stronger covers, right? You know, more shorts that's where their stop is, you know, whatever. So we could get that boom, just this big, you know, rocket launch. And it's going to be interpreted in a million different ways, but I'm going to consider it finishing and not something brand new. Like, wow, here we go, fresh breakout. We're going to new highs. It's like there's going to be a lot of banter, a lot of chatter, and a lot of noise. All right. Moving averages are, we're on the 4-hour, and they're all still looking pretty good to get ourselves up there. I'm going to slip over and get over to that NASDAQ now, which is also a beast, as we headed up and got within range to complete, or actually to break above the 14,570 high. So, I mean, we came in and we were looking at, you know, the market this morning got down to a low of, that's right there, 15,252. And we were trading at 527, 528 at the end of the day. So that's quite the move when you think about it. It's still a big move. And then the intense sell-off that the NASDAQ did within that 20 to 30 minute window was right here. And it started off that high, off of the high for the whole sequence, 14,528.25. And within that 30 minutes, it dropped to this low at 14,473. It was like, no, excuse me, 14,433. I was like, whoa, boom, 30 minutes, done. Thank you. Rally it back to finish the day at 14,004. I think it was actually back in here. Where did this open? 14,473. And they actually then went back, took it back up to 14,500, et cetera, et cetera. But they closed it up towards here. So we can very well get a little spark in the push. In fact, Lululemon came out with their earnings, and the stock kind of just popped real quick. Maybe that'll carry us up. Because getting back out to that 4-hour chart, what it does, how I labeled it right now is, and we're just going to open it up so I can look here. We're just looking at what we've done so far in this C wave. Okay. So in the C wave, again, within it, it's an intermediate degree C. So it is comprised of 5 waves of minor degree. Minor 1, 2, 3, way up there at that 14,570 high. We were looking for a 4. With the intensity of the rally, it gives a little bit of a nod to the fact that wave 4 could be done here. But once again, folks, I'm putting it in parentheses because we still have the potential that we get a big flat. Now, it may only come back down, right? If it goes up any higher, we're looking pretty much for a flat 4. So we wouldn't look for it much to come below where it already is or already has done. So 14,245 would likely stay in place because it's going to be a flat. Maybe we get down here, just below 14,114, 14,114, maybe. But remember, we were looking for something to come down here. Now, all that other than it can be, what else could this be? This can be A of 4, B of 4, and we come swinging down. Now, again, I wouldn't be looking for more, but there's the 382. As if it were to come all the way back down. Could that happen? If I had to put it on my probability scale, I would tend to give it a lower probability of happening. But all they got to do is string together a bunch of those cells like they did yesterday, and we're halfway or 3/4 of the way there. And so, yeah, they could probably do it. Now, if not, then wave 4 is in. The minor wave 4 is in. And while number-wise, again, this is 14,248, coming down from 14,570. So it was a decent drop. And so, yeah, I could label it minor wave 4. Does it look like an ABC? Questionable. But could, yeah, questionable. But it literally, in my mind, it does look like a 5-wave A, B, C, B. Hate to say it, which would suggest that we're going to come down one more time and then still rally. Now, what would destroy that? If it breaks above 14,570. So again, we don't have a whole long period to wait unless it grinds here. There's nothing but grind for the next several hours until tomorrow morning or till at least Europe opens. So, but who knows? We're going to leave these possibilities open. We may see it rally, hold, nosedive, come back here, or possibly even down here. And I'll show you what I've done with the fibs. Now, there's 2 ways I can look at that. I'm going to go back up to the 4-hour chart. We're going to open this up just a little bit more. So we're going to go inside here. So what we've got lined up right now is if measuring minor wave 1, minor wave 1 to minor wave 4, and it depended on where 4 was going to go. Well, the full Monty, so to speak, would bring it down to 13,388. And then that's where I place that. Up 330, excuse me. That's where I place that for right now. Now, I am going to go back down to my hourly chart, and we're going to lift that to the low, which was actually 14,248.25. So I just come back down here, go like this, edit the properties, and it would be the endpoint. 2002.48.25. Okay. And now you can see we're right back up there. Now, where does that suggest, right? What is my relationships? Fifth waves to first wave on a Fibonacci basis. The first is equality. Get ready. I'm going to go back out to the 4-hour chart. Equality is right there. Actually, we can do it here. It gets too small. There's equality. No, not even. I'm sorry. There's equality. 15,524. That's where minor wave 5 would be equal to minor wave 1. What is the second most common? That minor wave 5 or wave 5 would be equal to 0.618 of wave 1. That's 15,036. Now, if I were to drop that down, you saw how that whole thing changed. The 618 was much lower, much, much lower. But I'm not going to count on this drop occurring right now. If it does, we'll make the adjustment, but it just doesn't seem like the market is going to want to make that kind of a nosedive overnight or even tomorrow. Tomorrow there are economic numbers, et cetera, but there are a lot of things happening underneath that is feeding a more robust, higher levels move. So I'm going to leave it like here for right now, as if I have to call this. We're leaving it open. That's what the parentheses mean. But if we continue inside here, again, this could be, again, A, B, all packed into here, and then we get a 5 down. And it's not pretty, but this could be A, B, and now we get another quickie down. A lot of stuff could be it, but it could be an ABC, and that may be the 4. Then we get another ABC. So you can see it's well underway. And that was a pretty powerful rally, very powerful. Let me just take this down for just a second to a 2-minute chart. There, well, better if I do it out here. It's going to get really weird. Go to the 2-minute chart. You can see, and this is today. And look at the rally. Now, this is from our opening here. We went up, we slid, but we came off of that, and we just did not stop. It was choppy, but we did not stop. So if you had the system and the oomph, and you maybe even worked with just a micro contract, which is moved, instead of being $5 a tick, it's 50 cents a tick. Let's just say, for the sake of the argument, what if, I hate doing that, but I'm going to do it, that you got long at 14,000, let's say 310. That's where you ended up buying in. And you were able to carry it, I wouldn't say all the way to the top. Let's say you got out here. 14,510. 14,510 minus 14,310. So you get 200 points times $20. 200 points times $20. That 200 points times $20 is $4,000. That's a big trade. And that's on a mini. Excuse me, on a mini. So it would be 200 points times $2, and you'd be up $400. It's a $400 trade, but you've shown yourself how you can hold it or whatever. Now, sorry for that exercise, because even I wouldn't be holding, trading in and out. I'm trading in and out, but it did go pretty quickly on the way down. I have to say, it went very, very quickly on the way down, and that's what I was trying to show you. Very quickly on the way down, and then very quickly into the close, bring it all the way back up. So in the NASDAQ for tomorrow, if it continues to go higher, these are the levels. A break below 14,570 opens up some things, but I need to narrow down inside. So I want to get inside this fifth to even put together what that should look like. And what I would likely want to do is come back out here to the 4-hour chart. That's the 1, the 2, because this would have to come on. We're saying that that's done. And now I want to take a peek at what this fifth wave might look like. And so we've got that in. Now I want to narrow it down even further inside this. And that's where the trouble comes, because I don't have enough anchors to kind of put it together. So I may do something like this. And you can see they kind of line up. So they're pretty much the same, no matter how I want to look at it. So we'd be expecting, if they get it past 14,570, then we have 14,600 would be probably next, and then onward. Again, this is on the minor degree. On the minute degree, I got to go stepping inside here, and I'll show you how I would do that. I would bring it down, first of all, to look. Let's look at the 30-minute chart. And if I can open that up, I can do it. See, this almost came all the way back down and put in a new low, but I'm going to use it. We're going to do bing, bing, bing. So you can see everything's already taken inside here as to the size of this wave. But let's just say I'm going to go in and I'm going to make some edits, because these do not count. We want the higher levels. So I am going to put in 4.236, and that's that color, and this one can go off. 1.618 can stay. That goes off. And we're going to go to 2.618. And yeah, and then that's it. I can take that one off. We're going to go this to this color. We're taking it off. And we're good. So as you can see, we're just so out of bounds even to what all of this is happening. So it could be 1, 2, 3. And we would then can raise this. So let me just take another shot at something here. When this little, if this is the 4 and that's the 1, and that's the 2, and it's a 3, and this could be the 4. We're going to try one more connection here. And thank you for sticking with me, because this is how I do it during the day. So you can see, and you can put your own fibs in. So this low, twice so I can get it completely, is 14,433.50. So now we're back up to here, and you can see these levels go up. 1.618, 14,576, 577, 75. And then above that, 14,665. So 100%, 14,521. So we're back at where we were, and we need to get above 70. So that's why it becomes the higher numbers. And a true kind of blow off wave 5 if it gets there. So those will be some of the resistance levels. And again, though, we're keeping in mind that this market can also just be doing a more extended type of a 4, come back down towards this area, maybe a little bit lower, and goes at it again. So we're going to wait for the ultimate for the market to tell us, basically. All right, I am going to finish there because now I've taken too long. Thank you. The next update will be on Sunday, June the 4th.